Hey everybody, welcome to Lady Overlander Radio. Tonight we are chatting with Ethan and Blake of the Teton Overland Show. Stay tuned.
Grab your favorite drink, whether it's a coffee, cocktail, or tea, and get ready. It's Ladies Night on Lady Overlander Radio.
The Lady Overlander Radio podcast is sponsored by Frontrunner Outfitters, Midland Radio, Go Treads, Sport Keg, CB Adventure Supply, Adventure Trail Outfitters, Overland Spices, and the More Expo. Hey Arla, hey girl, hey.
Hey girl, hey. What's happening?
Tomorrow I'm heading back out toward Colorado. After I get a bunch of stuff done to my car, or it's not going to make it out there. I got to get tires rotated and front end aligned and oil changed and all the fun stuff, all the vehicle maintenance stuff. So,
what do you drive again?
I love 4Runner.
A Toyota?
Yes, but it's amazing, and I love her.
That stuff.
You got to do all the same stuff to your car. Don't even play.
No way, I'm not doing it. Run what you brung. You run what you brung.
Oh gosh. So yeah, I'm going to be, that'll be taking up most of my day tomorrow. And then I'll be making my way back out to Colorado, meeting up with Tara McGovern of Rove and Reverie. And then we're going to be heading up to Idaho to see these guys. So
who these guys? Who them?
Guys. Who are you guys?
I'm Blake.
Oh, where to begin?
One of the founders of the Teton Overland Show.
Right on.
Hi, Blake.
Thanks for having us.
Hi, Ethan.
And I am Ethan. Blake's other half.
His better half
or yeah.
Both. His other and the better.
Ooh.
Depends on who you ask.
Awesome.
So we are excited about your show. We have, real quick, we'll go through our upcoming schedule. We have the Teton Overland Show next, not this weekend coming up, but the next weekend. Then we have Big Iron Overland Rally at the end of the month, and then Expo East. And then Arla will be at Rendezvous in the Ozarks. I won't be in attendance of Rendezvous this year. Got some family stuff going on. And then that'll wrap up our whole Expo season because I'm tired of driving, to be honest with you.
Well, it's because you've driven like 4,000 miles in the last 6 weeks or something. Like coast to coast.
So, yeah, I mean, it's
That's
fun.
why you need all the stuff done in your rig.
It is. But we have a lot of really cool stuff scheduled for the Teton Overland Show. We're very excited about it. We have our schedule here. I will throw up on the screen. For the Ladies Overland Lounge, we have.
Bam.
Whoop, come on. Whoop. It's messing with me now. It's going to mess with me. Okay. So Friday, we have Overlanding for Beginners, Safety when Traveling Solo for Women, Hygiene while Overlanding. We're going to talk about some safe locations for women to start out.
Yep.
And then we have our Find Your Tribe, Building an Overland Community of Women. That's our networking event. Expedition Trailers out of Missouri gave us a trailer to serve drinks and things out of. So we're excited about that. We have a beautiful tent that these guys have provided for us and an 8-person hammock. And who is providing that, guys?
I ain't never heard nothing like that before. But that's pretty exciting.
So Kamek is one of our premier sponsors this year, and they're providing what's called the Weaver. And it'll technically hold 8 double hammocks. So you could do 16 people if you wanted, or just 8 if you like to sprawl, But,
we like to sprawl.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's like a big jungle gym.
Everyone's a sprawler.
To hold
Imagine the snacks that will hold while you're laying there.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You could fill that
by yourself.
So much popcorn.
I'm excited.
We're
going to be right by.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said Au Garçon.
Yeah.
No, serve us cocktails. So we've got a awesome hammocks to hang out in. We've got a lot of awesome things scheduled. We got Saturday is a full day here. A lot of some of the classes repeat, and for the people that are only attending one day of the show. And then, Gloria, I'm glad you're on here.
Snacks.
Gloria is going to be teaching a basic wilderness first aid Q&A session for us on Saturday.
She's a baddie.
So excited about that.
She's a baddie.
She's pretty awesome. She's like all medically certified and trained and all that fun stuff.
Yes. See, even Michael Hyden gets it. Room for activities. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, all kinds of activities. So Sunday we've got a little short day, but we found out Patty Upton is going to be at the show, so we're pretty excited about that. She's amazing. If you guys haven't met her, definitely swing by her rig and chat with her. She and her husband drove through the Darien Gap, the first one. They were in the Guinness Book of World Records for that. And they've traveled all over the world. So she is definitely a wealth of knowledge and an amazing person. So check her out while you're there as well. All right, guys. Let's talk about where this all started. Who came up with the idea of starting the show?
Such a loaded question for us.
You want me to hit that one?
Yeah, you hit that one.
All right.
I get emotional.
Okay.
Oh,
Stop. So back, I'm a Marine Corps veteran. Went to Afghanistan. Learned a lot in life. Saw a lot. And when I got out of the Marine Corps, I found very quickly that getting out into the backcountry was super amazing for my brain. And it wasn't just for me. It was good for my family to get out, for us to get out together, for me to go out solo. My brother-in-law was a law enforcement officer. Same thing applied to him. So we would often go out together. And we just very early on recognized how beneficial it is to just be out, even outside of your house. Just get outside, get away from screens and the hustle and bustle of day-to-day activity. And so way back when I had started this group called Teton Overland, just to get people together, and our hashtag was come with us. Didn't matter what you drove, who you were, what your past was, what your aspirations were, just get out, come with us and let's go out. And so that kind of evolved into a group of, there was a core, probably 5 or 6 of us, and Ethan was one of those. And so that's kind of how we met, the two of us. And I'll let him get into the story of how that happened if he wants to. But anyway, long story short, Ethan and I were at a car show one day. There was a couple of hot rods and your normal car show looking vehicles, and he and I were out there with my truck and his Xterra, and we're like, you know what, this kind of sucks. We should make an off-road car show, something kind of cool that we like, And so the more we discussed it and talked with our families about it, we had decided that, you know what, we need to make this more than just a car show. This needs to be something for the area. We're in the gateway to the national parks, and we've got amazing backcountry here. Like the most public land in the lower 48. Like we're in a hot spot for outdoor recreation. Let's make this something amazing for anybody that likes being outdoors. And so, September of 2021 is when we had our first official meeting to kick off the Teton Overland Show. Just coming up with a name was probably one of the hardest things we've ever had to do. Like, what do we call this stupid event that we're trying to put together? And, we're like, you know what? Teton Overland Show. Just simple. That was a big hurdle for a long time. And then, so that's kind of where it all stemmed from. And then, so we started planning about a year out for the first event. And then last year, after we had our first one, we had companies ready to sign up. So they kind of decided for us that we were going to continue doing it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really great. And so this is the official second year of the show?
Correct.
Okay. Awesome. The first time I went to Idaho actually was in 2021. And we explored out there for several months between Idaho and Wyoming. And I'm telling you what, it's so beautiful there. You guys are so blessed to have that in your backyard. It's amazing.
Yeah, I absolutely love it out here.
Now, you mentioned that you're a veteran and that you consider going out at kind of adventure therapy type.
Yep.
For you, or help you deal with things. I do as well. I'm also a veteran, and I think that's one of the reasons why my husband and I both got so into overlanding so rapidly, because it's just, there's nothing like being out there and having that solitude and just, you know, being one with nature and kind of leaving the craziness of the world behind you for a while. Yeah,
I couldn't agree more. I don't know why. I'm sure there's a bunch of science behind it, but it just works, and I know that. And that's actually been, you know, they say there's like a blessing and a curse. The show has kind of taken off, and it's been amazing to see it and watch it grow. But one of the negative points of trying to organize this event is how much time it takes. So it starts to detract from us actually going out and doing what we love. So that's kind of been a struggle that we've had to navigate. Like, well, yeah, I think we can go out this weekend. I think we can squeeze it in between this event on Friday and this on Monday. And so it's like, that's been a difficult part in it, because it came from a place of passion, and it is something that we do really care about, is the community, our local community and the overland community both. And it hurts a little bit not being able to go out as much as we used to. We used to go out at least once a month, sometimes 2 or 3 times a month as a group, and just take all the families or just do guys trips or whatever the case was. So that did take a definite hit once we started this project.
Yeah, and you guys have also, I know you guys were at More Expo and you worked that expo just to kind of, I guess, to see how Chris runs those things there. So that's another thing, you know, you guys are traveling around and going to different shows, I'm sure. And, you know, in addition to planning all of this other stuff, that can be very time consuming.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I know just attending the expos has been extremely trying and taxing on me this year. So I can imagine planning them from, you know, inception to finish, and all of that entails can be quite draining.
Yes. How long were
100%.
we out there? Like a week or more?
5 days.
Yeah.
5 days.
Yeah.
5, 6? I don't know. Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, it was good. He kept us busy. Yeah, I know that.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he keeps us busy too when we're there. So.
Well, it's crazy.
Chris is a good guy. He's.
I was just gonna say, there's no shortage of tasks to be done at any event, and it's something that a lot of people don't quite realize as attendees. But then when you get on the other side of it, even as a vendor, you start to see it more and more. But running it, it's like, holy moly, what did we do?
And it grows every year. So
what did you get yourself
this monster, like every year, doubles again,
Oh, yeah.
doubles again. That's how it's been for Chris anyway. I mean, I've been going to his show since it started, and it's crazy how much it's grown.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be the same for
Well,
y'all.
and then he was crazy enough to add the Big Iron Overland Valley on top of that. So
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with him.
It's the 3rd year for that.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So Ethan, tell us a little bit about what your role is in this crazy show.
Oh boy. So me and Blake kind of have it split to where Blake does all the smart stuff and then I do all the talking stuff, as you can tell from so far. So kind of how it started was it was really hard how we started this show. So we had, I call it the empty box cell, where the box is the idea of the show. That's what we wanted. And that's what we were selling. And there was nothing else. It was just the idea. We didn't have a website. We didn't have we barely just came up with an Instagram page. Like we had, with no followers, we had nothing. And we just literally started from scratch. You know, we're just a couple of nobodies that just like to throw money at our vehicles, just like, you know, every other overlander out there. And so we just wanted to, you know, bring it here. We all the big events, any big expo of this magnitude or this topic just circles Idaho. No one's hitting Idaho, and we were like, well, if we don't do it, someone else will. They're not going to be from here, and we want to really stick to our roots. And that was kind of, you know, if we're to talk about roles, it was, you know, getting companies signed up and having them just take a gamble on us. You know, people would ask, how many people are you going to get? You know, this is your first year, and we would just tell them, I have no idea. I have no idea how many people are going to come. I have no idea what's going to happen. We were mentally prepared for it to flop. 100% mentally prepared. And then, you know, come Friday morning when the show's happening, and we did a ribbon cutting with our Chamber of Commerce for the city, and to see all the vendors there that were supporting us, and then to see all the people just start lining up. And that's kind of the funny thing about Idaho is by the time we figure out what's trending, it's already been around 10 years. I was the first kid in my school to get the iPod Nano, and that was like the 3rd gen iPod in my tiny little school that I grew up in. And so Idaho's funny. They would rather, you know, I don't want to open up the internet and pay you that way. I'll just pay at the door. And so we went into Friday morning with 20 ticket sales. And then throughout the weekend, we ended up getting just over 2,000 people just lining up to come in. So Idaho's funny, and we're blessed for them. And we love our little state, and just kind of show what we have around here. And that was kind of like our biggest sell point, was the empty box sell, was we're selling our community aspect and our beliefs of what overlanding is to us, how community based it needs to be, and how it is for us, and how real all the vendors, all the big shots in the industry that you see. It's cool to bring that to people who just research it and YouTube like crazy, and, you know, can't really meet the people and shake their hands and see how they made their products. And so bringing something like this here is huge, and it's just been working out perfect.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you guys, like I said, you guys have some pretty amazing public lands right in your own backyard as well. And that's just, it seems like it's the perfect place to host a show like that. So I'm glad that you guys did it. And I think that it's going to be a huge success as the years go on. I mean, I'm pretty confident that your attendance will at least double this year. Have you guys looked at ticket sales so far, or how's it looking?
Yeah.
Is it going to be everybody at the last minute again?
It probably will.
Yeah. It's like,
yeah, it's like, oh.
Yeah, we've sold, I don't even remember what it was. It was like 8 times the amount of ticket sales to this point as we did last year. And then last year, I feel like personally, I feel like we kind of missed the mark on local marketing for the event. We did a lot outside of our area, and we did a little bit here locally, but we kind of pushed it to the wayside. We're like, yeah, the people will hear about it. They'll see us, you know. Didn't quite work that way. So this year, we are hyper focused on the local and the broad. We didn't really even know what our budget was or what a budget should look like for something like this last year. So we kind of honed that in this year, kind of figured out where we need to have our spend money at, and where we need to allocate certain funds for different things. And yeah, so marketing was a big one this year. We've been blasting everything we can. And sounds like it's working. Our ticket sales have skyrocketed, especially in the last couple weeks. And then vendors as well have been reaching out 3 or 4 a day for the last week or 2, trying to sign up. So whatever we're doing, I can't tell you what we're doing exactly, but whatever it is that we are doing is working.
Well, even our in-show camping is we're almost at capacity.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
I know that,
pretty
we will
wild.
be camping there.
Check this out. Hi from Brazil.
Oh, hi from Brazil.
Hey, tudo bem, macho?
Oh,
Thanks for joining us.
very nice.
I speak Portuguese.
There you go.
All right, then.
All right, now you got to do the rest of the show in Portuguese.
Oh, don't
No
just
pressure.
watch smoke come out my ears, trying to remember.
Oh, I got to say something real quick to JoJo. Where is she? Happy
Okay.
birthday, JoJo, if you're still watching. We love you. Hope it's a great birthday. And Tony. Oh, what happened? Tony, your husband had a birthday yesterday, right, Arla?
Correct. He's
It's just
21.
Birthdays, yeah.
Just a little young whippersnapper. Oh, so what was that? What's that?
Oh, there
What's
we go.
that mean?
It's like saying it's tudo bem, like how are you? How's it going?
Really?
Yeah,
You're not screwing around. Jamie Handel, she's the
I
founder
never
of
do.
own Toyotas.
Yes.
I'm hoping to make it out Saturday. Well, girl, it's in your backyard. She's talking about Willis.
Jamie was going to come the whole weekend, but she's got some work stuff going on.
Adulting. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, adulting stuff. But she's out of Washington State. She'll be coming. She started Lady on Toyotas, and she is amazing. The Lady on Toyotas Facebook group has like 20,000 people, women in it. So I mean, she's awesome. We're excited to be there.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Playing it.
So where do you guys see this show going? Do you foresee it being around for quite a while? Do you foresee it continuing to grow to where you're going to have to find a new venue eventually? What do you think about it?
So as far as growth goes, I think, yeah, it's not a short-term project by any means. The amount of time that we're putting into this thing is kind of embarrassing. Our poor families, like, you guys should just get an apartment together and do your show stuff. I think it's a permanent fixture as long as the desire is there to have something like this in the area. Once that's gone, there's not really a point in trying to. Yeah, there's no sense in trying to keep it going if it's not something that people want in the area.
Right.
And I'll let Ethan kind of talk about the venue and growth, physical growth that way.
So our first year, because we had, we probably still have no idea what we're doing. The first year we joked that whatever shortcomings we have, the venue will make up for it, because it's very picturesque. It has a creek that's running right through it with a huge fountain pond that all the campers are going to be kind of camping next to it. And so you'll hear that it lights up at night. And so maybe that saved us. I don't know, but it was really hard to get some negative feedback from the vendors because they were just talking about how they could walk barefoot in the grass and the creek was right there. And it's almost like you're out in the mountains, but you're not. And so as far as growth goes, what was it? Last night, Blake, we were talking that we were talking about expansion into different parts because our venue is huge. We're only using a small chunk of it. And so there's tons of room to grow. We could easily triple the amount of in-show campers at the show. But our plan for this show is actually a little different. So what we want to do with the show is keep that sense of community centralized with the show. So our vendors, we're probably going to cap it at 150 vendors for the show. Because going to other expos, as awesome as they are, we've personally have tried to talk to every single vendor for 16 hours each day for 3 days, and we're not able to talk to every vendor. And so we want at our show to know that, one, we take care of our vendors and we're trying to, and we're keeping that sense of community alive and strong and breathing well. And so if we get, 10,000 people with 150 vendors, each one of those vendors is going to get 10,000 people. That's what we want. And you know, as far as in-show camping goes, the sky's the limit. Maybe we could build something up towards the sky, you know, to have that be the limit. But that's kind of like our big goal with this, is just kind of keep that sense of community strong. And so we kind of started at our vendors and try to treat them differently, kind of treat them like they are part of our community, our Teton Overland community. So that, you know, we feed them breakfast in the mornings. We have geyser bring in showers so everyone can shower in the evenings. We'll bring them coffee throughout the day. We have our food trucks deliver food to them at their booths, because we know that they can't, exactly, like they can't leave their booths. And so we'll bring food to them. They just got to call and order it, and then we'll bring it to them. And so we're just trying to like look at these things that you would expect in a community-driven, family-driven, event-driven individual. You know, what would we want if we were that way? Would we want to be treated like a number? Would we want to be treated like, you know, a part of that community? And so, you know, bringing big names into the area and have people, you know, have drinks with them in the evenings, and we have live music in the evenings for everyone to relax and just have a good time. You know, that's kind of like our big drive. And so as far as expansion goes, you know, we're just kind of keep it centered around that community aspect. You know, we do have plans for, you know, we're working on similar rally style events in the future. We're right next to Yellowstone and Jackson, so we could really come up with something crazy in that area. And so that's in the works. But as far as for the show goes, yeah, we're looking at to kind of keep it that more intimate experience between the attendee and the vendor.
And by doing that, it'll also kind of drive the vendors to, how do I say it? It'll be more of a premier. That sounds kind of snooty. It's by
more
not
of a one-on-one
taking,
personal.
Yeah, by not taking anybody and everybody. Once we're full, and so that'll kind of set the precedence. Hey, if you want to be at this show, you got to act quick. And if you want to be a part of this family, there is a limit. We're not just going to fill the place with vendors and oversaturate the place. So it's a win-win for everybody. And nobody, like Ethan said, nobody likes to be treated like a number and kind of just, all right, you're here. These are the strict rules. We're all people. We all want to have a good time. Let's just go with the flow. And we feel that like capping it at 150 gives enough variety, but also allows us to keep it personal at the same time.
I agree. And you know, I enjoy all of the expos, but some of the larger expos can be very, very overwhelming. We've Arla and I found that out this year, you know, and I actually prefer the smaller shows. I think that they're more intimate. You have that ability to get around and see everything, where I feel like some of the bigger ones, you don't actually get to see everything, and you feel like you're very rushed.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great approach. And I think that you guys are going to have a lot of really good, especially for people that are just getting into overlanding. I think that they go to these bigger shows, you know, they just get kind of completely overstimulated and overwhelmed and probably shut down a little bit and don't really absorb the information that half of the people are there trying to give them, you know? So I definitely think that's a great approach, having it a more smaller, intimate kind of event.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And another, go ahead.
39% of our attendees last year were those beginners, the ones that are kind of investigating, figuring out what they want to do, what direction they want to go. And so, yeah, in this region, our biggest metro areas are 4 hours away. We've got Salt Lake to the south and Boise to the west. But for our immediate region, still very new in this area, which is kind of crazy because, I mean, it's been around for decades and decades, but very popular in the last 10 years. It's still kind of just gaining traction in this area. So,
and another way that we're having to cater to that newer market is our pricing for admission. That is one of our big things that, and see, Idaho is like, we're funny. We're really funny. The fact that we're charging to attend an event is blasphemy. And so And going like anyone that's in the overlanding scene knows, like that's that's the hobby that we got into. Like we're gonna be paying to do anything. And so for our show, we only charge $10 for a day to come in, or $25 for the weekend, $75 for in-show camping. And so we're trying to keep it to where we can cater to the market around us that has, virtually no idea what this is. And so that was kind of our biggest feedback last year, was we're getting these people that, they go hunting in the mountains and, they camp, but to see the convenience that they can have in the outdoors, which is basically overlanding, just is crazy. And it's the coolest thing ever. And it's like, holy cow, why have I not been doing this since it started, And so, yeah, that's just kind of, it's a very tricky market that we're in, and that's what we're having to cater it to. We can't just build it and they come, like the overlanders from across the seas will come to our show if we build it, because there's already a lot of shows in between here and there. And so we're having to cater to a whole new demographic that it's very tricky to do, that we found out. And so, we have to market it in two different ways. We have to market in a sense to those who already know what overlanding is, and then we have to market to those who have no idea what it is. Like, right. What is this overland? Who's overland? And so that's what's the tricky part.
Yeah, well, it's funny that you guys mentioned that, locally last year, a lot of people didn't know that the event was going on, because I found that that's the case with pretty much every show I've been to. I'll be around town, even the bigger shows, and people say, "Oh, what are you doing here?" "Oh, I'm here for an overlanding show." It's like the Uber drivers and stuff, and they're like, "What's overlanding? What do you?" Very expensive rigs, a lot of gear on them, a lot of camping, a lot. You just try to kind of break it down, to keep it high level for people that have no idea what you're talking about. So they're kind of like a car show. I'm like, kind of like a car show and a camping show and a lot of other things kind of rolled up into one.
Yeah.
But, even the bigger shows, the local community don't always know that that's going on. So I think that it's a good idea to market locally, like you guys are doing as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was we kind of got lucky with the weekend, because we had to pick, because there's a lot of local events that go on. So, we're the potato state. And so it's potato harvest right now, or coming up here in the next little bit. And so all the potato farmers are hiring for to bag some spuds and to do all this stuff. And so we have to juggle between our state fair, which is happening right now, and then us, while also not conflicting with any expos that are happening in the country, because we're trying to market that. And so it's just we're a funny bunch of people in Idaho. We're just a funny little bunch.
Hey, but we make it work.
That's right.
Boy, do we.
What? The more time I spend up in Idaho, Wyoming, that whole area, the more I love the area and the people. So you guys keep being crazy and goofy and wacky and whatever you want to call yourself, because it's working. So,
thanks.
One of our favorite areas in the country to visit. So
yeah, there's lots of crazy and goofy.
Yeah. Very, very honored that you guys asked us to come and be a part of the show. So we appreciate that. So
we appreciate you coming.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to give you guys each a chance to talk about your rig builds, if you'd like to. So, Blake, let's start with you. What do you have, and how do you have it built out?
All right. So,
You'll see why we're laughing here in a second.
Fun topic with us. So right now I've got a 2010 Ram 2500 6.7 liter diesel Cummins motor, super strong. It's an 8-foot bed, so we've got a lot of real estate to work with there.
Nice.
So initially I had gotten it to haul our toy hauler, our camper. Turns out those toy haulers aren't that fun and they don't get used that much. And so I had the truck. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to sell the truck and build it out, or get a new truck and build it out, because I had been following this even before I got out of the Marine Corps. And so like, you know what? Nobody really has a full-size truck in the overland space yet. I'm going to do it. And so I did it. We did, I've got a 3.5-inch turn lift on it. We've got a 12,000-pound winch on the front, worn winch. We've got all the lighting. Everybody has to have lights all over the place. What else? Oh, the AT. I've got one of the first 8-foot AT habitats that was made on my truck. I've got a dual rear swing out bumper, full size spare, obviously, 35-inch tires. Yeah, got dirt circuit, solar and lithium battery in the habitat. And then Ethan and I are both on search and rescue. So we carry a plethora of recovery gear, rescue gear, all that kind of stuff, along with our bedding and fridges and all the fun stuff as well. So nothing super crazy. I'm not like long traveled and flared fenders or anything like that, because I don't need it. We don't crawl, but it's purpose built and it works phenomenal for what we do.
Sounds like a beast.
Yes.
You will see it.
Our friend,
He's had to move a couple of trees one or two times.
we have a friend, Kelly, who overlands in a Ram Power Wagon, and he has rock crawled and done all kinds of things in it, like all over the country. And it's a pretty powerful rig. And, very rarely does he have to make, like a 15-point turn and squeeze through things, but it happens.
I don't know if does he have the 8-foot bed though? I mean, I don't know if his is 6.5 or something.
I don't remember. I think he might have a 6.5-foot bed, but
most power wagons are the 6.5.
But he takes that thing everywhere. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they're super capable. I like to call myself the anchor. So I'll be the one that has to pull the people out that go ahead and get stuck. So don't send me first, but I'll get you out.
That's what he does too. He pulls everybody else out. All right, Ethan, what do you have?
Oh boy. So when a time before time, before we decided to do the show, my 2007 Nissan Xterra, we're big believers in, use what you have, and that's what I have, and I love it. It's a little mountain goat. It's just not the prettiest of fellers out there. And so I have a Roof Nest Falcon XL tent, hard shell tent, it weighs 175 pounds on some Yakima crossbars on my stock roof rack on my Xterra. The Yakima dealer hates my guts. And it's got a 3-inch lift on it, a very rusty old bumper that I don't want to put a winch on it because I just feel like that's going to be like a chandelier in a haunted house. And it's rolling on some 33, some KO2s. And then the show started, and then Blake's truck, the Dodge Mahal, as we call it, it is a rolling billboard of the Teton Overland Show. And he's got that, and we were like, well, we can't outfit the Xterra. It's horrible looking. And so
I did not say that.
Well, I said it. It was implied, and I said it. And so I asked my wife, I says, hey, I want to take your car out to get it washed. I'll bring it right back. And it came back with a Rally Tech 3-inch lift with skid plates. I got it on some Falcon Wild Peak ATs, fully wrapped. I got the Princeton roof rack, 2 Rome cases, a 23-0 awning, a custom-made ski rack, and a rigid armor rear tire swing, and some Orbis overlanding Molly panels on the interior. And she was so happy that it came back clean.
Yeah, I was gonna say, was she still speaking to you after that?
So she's accepted the tire swing for groceries and getting the stroller out. The baby doesn't mind. We don't have to bend down as far to get her in, so that's nice. And so that is now, I don't know what I have. I don't know which rig is mine anymore. I'm just kind of stuck in this limbo between fantasy and reality, where I would love to, camp in the Subaru, but it's a family car, and then we don't go camping right now, so the Xterra gets driven like maybe 3,000 miles a year for the past year and a half. And so, and then we were kind of like, you know what, this kind of works out pretty good because overlanding is for those who have, the big monsters like the Dodge Mahal, or me, like the little, Subaru Crosstrek. It's for everybody. And so like, okay, we planned that. That makes sense. And it works out pretty good. And so our Subaru dealer actually last year sold 5 cars at our show, which considering, just over 2,000 people selling 5 cars, it's not too bad. And so I realized I had to go find some Subaru companies that support Subarus. And that was exhausting. And the car shows how exhausted it is with the products that I'm repping there to get these companies here. And so, yeah, we got a lot of companies that support, we're trying to have that support all that market from Subaru to the big trucks. And so that was a big goal that we had to cram out too while we were at it.
No, that's great. And one of the things that we tell in our beginning overlanding class is we tell people what works for you and your setup may not work for somebody else. And so no overland setup is the right setup or the wrong setup. It all depends on the individual or the family or the vehicle they're starting with, or what their specific needs are. And it's probably bad to say that at a show where people are trying to sell things, but you don't need all that stuff to go out and have fun and do fun things.
Exactly.
Have a
so be surprised what you need and what you don't.
Right.
Well, and I feel like a lot of times too, and I'm speaking just from experience with myself, is the intimidation that you can get seeing all the beautifully built rigs, and we're like, oh man, that's great, and wow, they spent so much money on that. Holy cow, how do you? And so it can be very intimidating, and so. I think it's important. We were able to get companies that, like Deep Sleep and Hess that can, like the bedding systems for inside your car, Like me personally, I'm not a huge fan of the rooftop tent. I think it's a lot of weight, and it's just exhausting for me, especially my first one, just climbing up and down to open up the tent. I twisting my ankle, and then everyone says that we were staying and didn't tell me by the time I had it all zipped up. They're like, oh, hey, we're staying. And I was so mad. I rolled my ankle. Oh, I was so mad. I was so mad. That stupid tent. And so, well, and then exactly. I'm past it. And then I was able to see. Okay, I know what I want, because you start going camp, you start using what you have, and you're like, okay, it's worth it to buy that. It is worth it to purchase this. I understand the convenience. I will pay for that convenience. I understand. And I did. So, with the roof nets, it's just on hydraulic struts, and you just give a little bump and it's up. It's easy. No more climbing up and down. That was like my biggest thing. I will pay whatever. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to camp. I want to go out and have fun, but I don't want to wrestle with that stupid tent. I'll sleep inside. And so I was able to get rid of it, got a new one. And and so that's like the biggest thing was for me was the intimidation. Like, you know what? If I need it, I'll get it. That's kind of the biggest thing. And you'll be surprised when you can finally afford something that you really, really need or, really need.
Yeah. It's a want. All the stuff.
Yeah, it's a want.
Everything. A lot of it's like what you need or what you have to have. A lot of it is want. I mean, plain and simple. You see what somebody else has, and it's keeping up with the Joneses almost, like. Oh, yeah. Whether it's overlanding or a 5th wheel trailer. Ooh, they got 5 slides. I want that, That's pretty much, anyway, here it is.
Which is great for the vendors. So, that's a good problem for them to have, is people wanting to build more things or add more things. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Keeps the market always changing, always evolutionizing different stuff. When you think they're done, they're not.
Oh yeah, and it's very competitive and we've seen that just from doing the podcast and even just going to some of the shows, it's very competitive. It's very, you know, those guys have to stay on top of things and come out with new products, and it's a lot.
Yeah.
So who are some of your title vendors or sponsors that you guys are going to have at the show?
So our title sponsors this year are both local dealerships. It's Ron Sayer Auto Group, and there are Dodge, Ram, Jeep, Nissan, BMW dealership. And then our other title sponsor is Wackerly, Subaru, and GMC. So we've got a good spread. For some reason, our local Toyota dealership's kind of funny. I don't know if they know what's going on in the area or in the industry, but they have not worked with us too well this year, which is
or last year.
Us, but that's neither here nor there. So we have no Toyota representation at the show aside from aftermarket parts. But yeah, so the other two saw the value in it, obviously, and jumped right on board. Those were some of the first ones that signed up, actually, were the dealership. So yeah, those are our two biggest sponsors. And then we've got a whole mess of premier sponsors, which are big industry names that are supporting us. AT and Equipped were the first two to sign up. Those guys have been our biggest cheerleaders in this whole endeavor since the very beginning.
They're like those supportive uncles as you're growing up that just never leave your side and always give you counsel. It's like that.
And candy,
yeah.
And they're like the granddads of the industry as a whole. And then Mario also being tied in with the rally series. I was a little skeptical approaching him about it. But I think it did help that I bought a Habitat from him before all this started. No, he's been very, very supportive. And he'll just randomly give me a call and be like, hey, have you thought about doing this for your event? I might try it if I was you. Or giving tips and tricks, and like having us come up to Northwest Overland Rally this year to see how he runs that operation, and just so supportive. And like those two, I feel like I will forever be in debt just because of the support and words of wisdom that they've shared with us. So we're super excited to have them as sponsors. I'll have to pull it up. I don't even remember who else we got. I know we got Kamek. They're a big sponsor this year. They're a sponsor of the Ladies Lounge. Along with...
They were all over that idea too.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we're excited about that.
All right. Who else do we have? Okay. Equipped, AT, Taco Vinyl, Trail Racks. They're a premier sponsor. Trails Off-Road. They're our trail run sponsor this year and last year. They're return sponsors.
Woo!
Yeah.
We've got Parker Outdoors. They make their EDC camper, and then they've got the Dirt Circuit brand. And then we've got some Idaho companies, Eagle Rock Indian Motorcycle. So they're also a CF Moto dealer, and they've got their adventure bike series and stuff like that.
Nice.
Colby Off-Road. They're a local beta dirt bike dealer and also Triumph dealer. So I'll be bringing out a few of those bikes, as well as the Sur-On e-bikes. Rugged Mountain Custom RV is up near Boise. They make slide-in campers for trucks. Stable Camper, I believe they're out of Colorado. And they just make accessories for those slide-in type campers. Tops Knives, they're a local. They're about 10 minutes from both of our houses. Local knife company, super awesome guys. Products are very, very hardy as well.
Internationally known.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And then 23-0. So
Yeah.
Right on.
And then we've got a whole bunch of community sponsors that are all pretty well local to East Idaho, northern Utah area. So quite a bit of support sponsorship wise. And then over 100. I think we're up to 116 or so vendors or something, somewhere in there. So, yeah, full house this year.
Nice.
I bet you guys will get the vendors hitting you up this week too for last minute squeeze
Last
in.
minute ones, yep. Jumping in.
I think we've had 3 today.
Yeah.
3 today.
Yeah. Like, you still got room? We're going to be able to make it.
We planned for this. We were ready.
Yeah.
We were ready. Didn't even hesitate. Like, yep, we'll throw you right here. Ready to go.
So awesome. What are the hours of the show each day, and how do you guys foresee that going in when people want to check in and all of that stuff and come into the show?
So our hours day to day, Thursday is going to be roll-in day for vendors and exhibitors, sponsors, all them. But also we're opening up Thursday to our in-show campers. If they want to come out Thursday afternoon or evening, they're more than welcome to. That way, first thing Friday morning, you can get after all the classes and start visiting with people and all that. So Friday morning, the show opens up at 9 a.m. and will run till 5 p.m. And at 5 p.m., we'll start our cocktail hour, which is sponsored by a local distillery. We'll also have live music, 2 different bands playing Friday evening, and then let's see who's doing the after party Friday.
I think that's CBI in Rome.
Yep. So
nice.
they're gonna do an after party Friday.
Nice.
Then Saturday our hours are 8 to 5. And when we say hours, that's just when we shut the gates down at the front. We're not going to let more people come in for the after festivities. That'll be for people that got day passes that are still there and want to hang out, and then all of our vendors and campers there, because we don't want it to just be if you're coming for the after stuff, we want you to have come for everything else as well, just because there's going to be drinks and music. And it makes for a long day, 8 and 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, talking to people. Feel like we could take it later, but we also want it to be enjoyable for our vendors and exhibitors. So we don't want to push it too far. So Saturday is 8 to 5. And then at 5 o'clock, we'll do our big general raffle. So I think we've got close to $30,000 worth of gear we're giving away this year.
Nice.
Anything from My Medic first aid kits and tire inflators to awnings from Kamek, and I don't even. Pretty much every company
all the things
is giving something. So
we've had to do a lot of deals with certain vendors. Some people want to, some vendors want to give us stuff in trade for a booth, and we so badly want to say yes. Where we're like, hey, how about for the raffle instead?
Yeah.
Would that be okay? And so our raffles are huge. One of our big things that we're doing, if you're okay if I touch on this, Blake, real quick.
Touch away.
One of our big things that we're doing that we wanted to do last year, but we just didn't have the funds to do it, and we're happy that we can do it this year. We're supporting a local charity here that's local to us. It's called Camp Magical Moments, and they do a cancer camp for kids a few times over the summer. And they'll do a week-long camp with kids who have had cancer, have cancer, and they'll take them kayaking, rafting, rock climbing, dirt biking, camping, all this stuff in the outdoors, and just give them a fun free weekend or free week of just fun and adventure. And we found them, and we're like, okay, this is part of our plan. We want to support this charity. Let's do it. And so we bought a CF Moto 800 series side by side, and we have our local Triumph dealer donate a dual sport bike, a Honda dual sport bike that we're going to raffle off.
Wow.
For all the attendees. You don't have to be present to win. They're $10 a raffle, I think is what the price we set on that. $10 for a raffle ticket, and all the proceeds of those 2 items are going to go to our charity. That was a big thing, and that's something that we're going to be doing every year from here on out. We love the charity. We love those who are involved in it and what they do for children and the passion for the outdoors that's there. And so that's just something that we can fully support, and also give something huge away that, you know, we're trying to do it our own way. And this is the way that we can do our own way.
That's fantastic. I love it. I love helping kiddos.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's a good time.
So how do your spouses, significant others feel about overlanding? Are they getting into it? Are they tired of hearing about it?
You're laughing on one side.
Say overlanding one more time.
Oh,
they love it, and so they love the hobby, but I think they're a little showed out. The show, it's like nonstop talking about the show. So they're very, very, very supportive on both ends. Well, I think. I don't know if Alex supports you. She pretends to support you well if she doesn't really. But no, we're all really good friends, and we have been for a long time. And so
way before the show.
Yeah, that really helps keep things going in the right direction. But yeah, the kids don't like the show because we don't get to camp as much, but they love when the show is here because it's so cool and they get to see what we've built and get to meet all these cool people. And so it's it does definitely take a toll on the family life a little bit, especially these last couple weeks. It's just chaos right now, but then we'll take a couple months off, hopefully, fingers crossed, and start working on 2024. So it'll be worth it. But yeah, there's support all the way around from the families.
Yeah, the hard part too is we're still juggling our day jobs, which is a nightmare. Which, like, I travel for work, and I'm traveling now, and had a, you know, I was like, yeah, I can squeeze in the evenings. That's fine, as long as it's not during the day. We're good. And so we're juggling all that too, just trying to, you know, we're just like everybody else, right? We're dumping our passion into something that we love, and the support that we get, you know, last year was actually really hard for me personally, just because my wife, we found out she was pregnant 3 weeks before the show.
Oh, wow.
And then it was when we were at Moore that we found out she had to deliver early.
Oh.
And so it has just been nonstop chaos with everything, and because she was sick in the hospital, like she had really bad morning sickness, so she was in and out of the hospital as the show was happening, so she wasn't really there to see it while this life-changing event was happening for us. And so that was really hard, and she felt so bad, and I just come home and just I'm like, can you just hold me for a minute, I'm so tired. Just hold me, just let me cry for a minute, it's fine.
That's what I say to Misty too when we're at shows.
Oh boy. And so but the support is it's just been nonstop, rock solid. It's just getting to the point where it's just, hey, if I'm a little short in my responses, I'm so sorry. I just gotta talk to Blake for like 10 more minutes, and then I'll be done for the day, I promise. And so they've just been super supportive, and we have meetings that, well, what should be meetings, but just turn up into pizza parties and just trying to just relax where we can, and, you know, just enjoy it and just trust in each other and our spouses. And our wives will be running the ticket booths, taking tickets all day for the whole weekend. And so they know their jobs to help us see this through. That's because we couldn't do it without them. So
yeah.
Well, it's going to be an all hands on deck family affair for sure.
Yeah.
No kidding. It really will.
So if everybody wants to find out, I put a little ticker across the bottom, but where to get tickets, what you guys have, your social media, where people can find you, all that stuff. Tell them where they can find you.
All of it's Teton Overland Show. So website, tetonoverlandshow.com. Instagram's Teton Overland Show. Facebook, Teton Overland Show. We don't do TikTok or Twitter or any of those weird other apps. we can barely figure out how to run the Facebook and Instagram, and they're the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's still hard for us. So
if you see our reels, you'll understand it's us doing that.
Yeah.
Hey, the one the other day was pretty good.
It's the same footage that we just haven't, like, because we don't go out like, okay, we gotta come up with something new. It's the same footage.
Yeah. So yeah, all of it's Teton Overland Show. Tickets can be found. Our tickets are through Eventbrite, but you can get a link there directly through our webpage. Any of the buy tickets buttons will take you right to the event on Eventbrite. For those that don't know, Eventbrite's kind of funny when it comes to the promo codes. You need to put it in before you select the ticket and add it to your cart.
Okay.
It's going to be at the top.
Yep. Otherwise, it won't let you when you go to pay. There's not an option once you add them to your cart. So, like on the ticker, TOS20 is 20% off tickets. And then if any of the listeners or viewers are first responders or veterans, active duty, search and rescue, any type of public service like that, just send us an email, just info@tetonoverlandshow.com. We'll get you a code for a free ticket. So
awesome.
We want to take care of those that take care of us. So
I love it, guys. I love what you guys are doing, and we are excited to support you and to see you guys in a little over a week, like a week and a half. So it's gonna be here before we know it.
I
Exactly.
know.
No
it's gonna be a party. It's gonna be fun.
We'll all have a good time.
Absolutely.
It'll be great.
Well, thank you guys for watching, and please come by and see us at the Ladies Overland Lounge at the Teton Overland Show, the 15th through the 17th in Idaho Falls. Have a great night, everyone.